All right, guys. Dave Witchard, President of FFL Velocity. Welcome to Weekend Warrior Podcast. And today I have a special guest, and her name is Ester Knight. Say hello.
Hi.
Oh, wrong button. I always do that.
That's
We're going to give you a cheer. We'll give you music, too.
Thank you.
We can do whatever we want, right? So, Esther, how long? So, you've been here, you came on part-time at first,
Right.
and then transitioned to full-time. And then tell us a little bit about your story and, your background, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I actually, I was born in a small town, Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Really, really small town. But with that being said, I have worked in the hospitality business it's been at least 20 plus years. So a pretty long time with that. And so the insurance industry is very new to me. Like I said, I started out part-time. I think that, having an opportunity to work with FFL and kind of manage my own schedule does take a lot of discipline. I mean, it's been a great experience. Like I said, I don't think that I've ever experienced this in corporate America working in the hospitality business, because really it's a 24/7, 365, but you're capped at a particular amount. And there's a lot of protocol, standard operating procedures, a lot of stuff that you really have to keep in line and manage, and then you have to manage teams, and that becomes difficult as well. So.
All right. So now, I don't know. I didn't ask you this earlier. Are you married? Do you have kids or anything like that?
So I'm not married. I have a boy that's 13.
Okay.
So, and you know how those 13-year-olds can be.
13-year-old teenager. Yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome. Do you into sports or anything?
So he actually is a boxer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So because I've traveled all around with the hospitality industry, but I did have him in UFC, like the little training in UFC when he was probably like 6 or 7.
Wow.
And he loved that. So, but the boxing, he has a natural talent. So with that, he's very good at basketball too. But like I'm kind of stuck in between because he likes football as well. But I think boxing just comes natural. Now, he hasn't really actually been in any fights. I don't know if I'm okay with that, but he definitely knows how to spar. So.
Wow. Well, I've always loved the fight game myself.
Yeah.
And I love MMA and just watching that, know, and so it's just the competitive side of it.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
then watching the different people. So, yeah, great stuff. So he's in the gym then?
Yeah.
Is he like
Heavy
and
into
training and stuff like that?
Yeah. We actually took boxing together. Obviously, he did a little bit better than me. I'm a lot older than him, so I kind of got tired a lot quicker. But yeah, no, he's definitely into the gym. Very big on health and fitness. And I think that you have to be, in everything that you do, especially in this, because there's a lot of, driving and, sitting with people and, but I'm big on that and just, making sure you're healthy. I mean, it is life insurance, so.
Yeah, and you're kind of tall. So did you play basketball or sports or anything growing up?
You know what? I didn't play basketball. I was actually one of those girls that, I was good, but I was more, concerned about working. So I started working when I was probably like 14 years old. My first job was in telemarketing, believe it or not. I worked for a small newspaper in Chambersburg. It's called the Public Opinion. I don't even know if it's still, around. But anyway, then I went into the hospitality business when I was 15. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you made pretty good money there, right?
Yeah.
It's just a lot on you, and now you've got this freedom that allows you to still make great money.
Right.
What was the reason? Was that the main reason you left?
Yeah, you know what? It was COVID was hard. The short staff, cleanliness because that's huge right now, and just always worrying about if people were going to show up to work. Sometimes the level of commitment that you would have from your staff as a leader. You want to kind of bring them to the water, but you can't make them drink, and so it's up to them, how they work, and so that was difficult. It was very stressful. I love my teams, all the teams that I've had, all the teams I've managed, but it just starts to be too much, and you find yourself aging a lot quicker, behind something like that. So.
Yeah. Do you mind me asking how old you are?
41.
41. You're still young. Well, it's nice to have you here, and I know you work with your brother John. You're on Neil McMahon and those guys, and they're growing really fast. What are your goals like moving forward, and what have you found about FFL as far as like because people are watching. They're like, hey, is this part-time? I want to start part-time, or I want to transition. Now you're full-time. And what are some things that you've noticed and you've seen that are real?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you first and foremost, I want to say thank you to you, Sean, Mike, Neil, my brother, because, at the end of the day, I know that I'm working with people that truly care, people that are genuine. Everybody has a story. You guys are just like everybody else. I know everybody says, oh, there's nothing special about me. But I tell you the truth, when we're in the business of serving people, it's great to have a team where you can, call them up and say, hey, I'm kind of stuck on this. What are you thinking? I can text someone and they'll get back to me right away. And then give me a little bit more of that confidence, kind of think some things through. So that's huge. And I just want to say, thank you for that. Not everybody has a good financial situation. And, sometimes, you get around the holidays, other types of things going on, end of the month, people are really scraping. And, I got to tell you, with this business, there are those ups and downs, but I tell you, when you really work for it and you know that you've been working for it, it certainly pays off. So that's something that never to discredit, what's out there, what's available. You just have to be willing to work. And I think that that's the biggest problem is that, we can't expect to get something for nothing. It's just not going to happen. So.
Well, that's true. And, we're very transparent about that. It's hard work, right? I mean, if you work hard, you're going to be successful here. You work hard. And if you're teachable and coachable, follow the system, you'd say that anyone can do this, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know what? It felt really good. And the fact that everyone was supporting me behind that, because I know that I've been working towards that. And, like I said, you have the ups and downs, but when that happens, it's just an energy, it's an adrenaline. Like I said, it feels good to be able to help people. For me, it's not always about the money. It's great to have that. It's really just about helping people and serving people. But that's definitely a plus, when you're thinking about it, long term or even short term,
What are some of your goals moving forward? I mean, I know you're recruiting some and growing a team. I think that's something you want to do,
oh,
right?
absolutely. Yeah. I definitely want to work on that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I know that about you. So when I first met her today, she was like smiling. She's so excited to be here and stuff like that. And I think that's the thing I would always try to share about our company is that we do have that heart for serving people. And I know that people, I say a lot, like if you're willing to work hard, you're willing to serve people, and you have a heart for people, you're going to win here. I mean, at the end of the day, and it actually makes it. Would you say, okay, so when your mindset is to go out and serve people versus, hey, I need to make money, do you think, what changes there?
Oh, my goodness. You know what? I tell you, it always has to be about people first. It has to be about, putting them in a better situation than what you found them. And, making sure that their family is going to be taken care of. I mean, whatever it is that they're wanting, whether it's final expense or leaving a legacy or something like that, you have to be able to follow through with them for that. And, you can't sit and worry about the money. I mean, I think that if you're only geared around that, you're going to have a hard time, with this. And like I said, it's not like the money's not going to come, but I think that people can tell when you're in it for yourself versus in it for them. I mean, it's something that just comes off. I am extremely genuine. I can tell you that even in a lot of the homes, the pets love me, and it's great because I've seen some pretty big dogs, running at me. I'm like, oh God, please no. But no, all of them have been friendly, and so I definitely have been blessed to be a part of this, and have that type of success. And like I said, my success has more to do with being able to take care of people. So
yeah. Where do you see yourself going with FFL, and what are some of your goals for 2022?
Yeah.
Have you, and I don't know if you've really thought about that because you're like, hey, I'm still new. What do I do? Yeah. We know that if a person truly wants to and they can work hard and they're willing to invest and listen, you can do that. And you invest it back in. If you want to build a big agency, you can do that. And you can do that, get to $1 million less than a year. And you've got, Neil, who's about to hit that board member. Your brother's growing, Eric, Madi. You got a whole team there of people that are there to help you.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you that I do really want to get into more of the recruiting. We were just kind of talking about, some of the things that you've accomplished. And, like I said, just being able to sit with someone that has been so successful, has worked hard to get where you are. I mean, I know that that's definitely possible. I will tell you, though, I think with the recruiting and sometimes just presenting this opportunity to people, like you said, it really does have a lot to do with working. and really putting, blood, sweat, and tears into this whole thing. I mean, there's days when I'm running 10-hour days, and driving around, and, I'm on the phones and, all day, or whatever the case may be, if I'm doing a telesale or whatever it is. But you really have to be focused. And it's got to be about, taking care of people. And, there's a lot of hours that you're clocking. And again, though, if you're doing this from the heart, it's not an issue. But there is a certain amount of discipline. You've got to have your schedule straight. I mean, you got to be committed to doing it. And I think that to come out front and just let people know that, it could, be a situation where it could help or hurt you. Maybe someone's interested in that. Maybe someone's not interested in that. I mean, what I find is that when you are a W-2, sometimes, I mean, you're paid what you're paid regardless of how much you give. It doesn't matter so much about effort. And with this, if the effort's not there, you're definitely not going to see the results that you want to see.
Yeah, I mean, and we're clear. So, like, you're watching this, you're brand new. So, like, they tell you to buy leads. And could you talk about what what you've done to be successful? I mean, because some people are watching this are like a single mom at home, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they have a teenager, like you do, and maybe they're like, man, I'm in this industry or whatever, and they're wondering, well, but can I do that? And they could reach out to you and get started, and you have the track record already. You actually started part time, and then you went to full time, and now.
When people think about it and like lead costs and all of that, a lot of people don't want to have to put something into it, but I don't know what type of business that you can run where you're not going to have to invest something. Believe me, working in the industry that I came from, there was a lot of expenses, a lot of overhead, just to kind of keep the business running. And from an operational standpoint, I mean, there's a lot that, you have to give. And when you're looking at that return on investment, I mean, you're hoping that pans out. But I know that for us within the first year, you really got to keep your head down and you really got to focus. And because, chargebacks are going to come, you're going to have some of those other things. But I think that if you keep up the activity, you stay motivated, you stay committed to it. A lot of times, in the beginning when I was a little kind of nervous about things, or, you'd have, get no-showed, or you'd have canceled appointments, something like that, sometimes you think about what you did before. And I'm like, for me right now, I'll take that because I know that tomorrow's going to be a better day, and that's how you have to think. You can never be down, on yourself, because it's going to happen. And I've talked to a lot of entrepreneurs that do other types of business, and that's what they all say. And they think that we have a great thing here. I mean, just talking to them about what I'm doing, they're super excited about it because, there's so much opportunity there,
As we kind of wrap this up, what are some other things, anything you want to share? Somebody's watching this, they may want to come work with you. You're in Phoenix, but you can work with her from anywhere. You're in the hospitality industry. You want to work with somebody in that industry. Here's Esther. She's a single mom. Like I said, not that, I mean, I'm just saying people relate to different people, right? So they want to come work with you. But what are some other things you just want to share about FFL, the team, whatever you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think that it's important to just let everyone know that Family First Life is a great opportunity, number one. Number two, it's all about authenticity. And I feel like a lot of times working with these companies, they're not upfront. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, well, is that an MLM? Is, what's going on there? What's happening? Are those numbers real? They're absolutely real, And I know that they're real because, I've experienced them. And I know the kind of work that I've done, I have a true respect for insurance industry, for, anyone that's independent, doing this because it there's so much of a reward if you put something into it. And for a Family First Life to give people opportunities that don't have insurance experience, the training that's free, going to different events. I was just at the conference here in Phoenix in November, which was explosive. I mean, you're sitting there with, Hall of Fame producers. You're sitting there with, people that, agencies, I mean, people that are doing very well. And they're talking to you and they're telling you their secrets and just, giving you encouragement. And I mean, it's such a great thing to experience. I mean, usually when you go to some of these conferences, you have to pay, in order to be there. I've never paid for any of the FFL trainings that I've had. And then even sometimes when you're driving to appointments, to be able to listen to Andrew Taylor yourself or, Paul McLean or Sean Mike, even, like on Saturdays, with the Q&A, I mean, it's good to be able to hear that, because I will tell you that when I, have gone out on some weekends and listening to Sean Mike, I was headed to an appointment, and after hearing him and just the fire and, just the passion there, I was able to go and write, several people in a house. And I mean, it's something, to be said about that, and to have people that are all on the same energy wavelength, I mean, I will tell you one thing that is, I think, something that people have to look out for is that you really have to surround yourself with positive people. You really have to, and that's what you get with FFL. Everybody that is with FFL that is doing anything, that has experienced any type of success, is extremely helpful. They're extremely engaging, and there's so much to be built up behind what they're saying. I mean, they will push you to be better. But you just get with, a friend or someone you've known or whatever the case may be, sometimes that you don't get that good energy. Sometimes there's some negativity. So you really have to just surround yourself with the same type of people. Everybody has a common goal. That's to be successful. That's to serve people. And I think that you'll be just fine if you do that.
Yeah, and how did they get a hold of you?
So I am actually Queen E 1832 on Instagram, and then my phone number is going to be 717-773-1832.
Well, thank you, Esther. It's been a pleasure to get to know you today, and you and John. I mean, just great people and just good hearts. And she's serving, and I can't wait to see you next year. She's going to be a Hall of Fame producer, I believe, and you should set that as a goal if you haven't already.
Yes.
But it's exciting to have you here.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Dave.
I know this made a difference in people's lives today. So anyway, thanks for being on with us today. And again, if you haven't already, subscribe to Family First Life Velocity. And of course, as Esther said, there's so many things out there that can help you grow this business. Just got to listen to it, hopefully make a difference. And that's why we do these things. Hopefully it helps somebody today.
Yes.
So thanks so much for being on.
Thank you.